So do you think like the denser realms, that's what people would call poltergeist phenomenon, maybe even demons and hauntings, and what would you categorize as lower?
Highly related. Yeah, I would say that there's that whole aspect of it, but then in the same sense, I think there's also the future of humanity is also there. And they somewhat overlap, because the denser realm is the future now. Like if you wanted to think of the past and future of where our energy goes, energy will our entire universe will naturally drift into those denser realms. So that's like the future. But if you're pulling things out of this future now, they're most likely creations of human stillness. So when people say ultra-terrestrials and they say they're not sure if it's like a man from the future or if it's a being, like the future now is a denser realm, but that includes stuff like jinn. It includes the stuff like the demons and all that kind of stuff. They all exist within that same future now state.
Do you think that we're going to see, in regards to like kind of the UFO situation, because obviously that's kind of like a facet of this challenge towards reality and what exactly is going on. Do you think that we're going to see at least things that might satisfy your level of curiosity coming from the US government, or do you think that we're going to have to expand out towards the scientific institutions?
I think that it already has come from people. Mm-hmm. For example, the conversation I had with Lou Elizondo, we ended up talking a lot about the whole concept of like the rusty beings being lifted up, recrystallized. But whether or not that's going to come out as like a sort of disclosure is a different story, and seems dangerous in a way, because it seems like that would be combining church and state. And it's a very slippery slope. At what point can we no longer discuss these things if they're not? Do you see what I'm saying? Because it seems to tie back into the Christianity. It seems to tie back into Hinduism, Buddhism, all that stuff. This seems to be like very related. And so it's a fine line between church and state, and then they were separated for good reason, right? I don't know, but I'm just like, so I don't think that a full disclosure will ever happen because of that. And that's potentially maybe why, and maybe, right, just theory, maybe why people like Lou and Sean Cahill are basically saying, look inside, love your family. They're trying to hint towards a certain direction, but they're not allowed to say, go believe in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking. But they're not allowed to say, like, religion is real. They can't say that.
Yeah, it's interesting, though, because, the religion, like the Catholic Church is starting to become more involved in this. There's been, different movements within modern religion towards trying to get people to open up to the idea that, hey, actually, maybe there is more than just the human species in God's creation. And it just kind of makes you think that there is a certain level of preparing people that's happening, not just in government, it's happening across multiple kind of different sectors, including religion. Do you think that it would be the religious populations that would be mostly affected by this? Because I feel like people maybe we underestimate what people will incorporate into their model. I mean, I know a lot of people who have religious backgrounds and views and truly are like, faithful to their particular kind of religious architecture, but also are very open to the idea that there's life in the universe, are very open to the idea of things that, would normally maybe be a bit challenging to the traditional religions. But in this modern world, I feel like people are way more ready for this kind of stuff. And I don't think it would be as disruptive as they think it would be.
I think people are very, I think that people with religious backgrounds are closer to being prepared than like from the scientific world. We're like, whoa, dimensions, beings from other dimensions, wait. There's different types of beings. Like, they're going to be completely lost because our physics, all our math is only within our dimension. Mm-hmm. It doesn't include any other dimensions.
Which to be fair, kind of, it's almost a religion in and of itself. I mean, it's a different type of religion, but it is, a lot of it is faith-based.
Yeah, no, and it becomes very dogmatic too, like where if you don't put the answer that the teacher wants to hear down, you're not going to get the A, so you can't pass the test. If your research project doesn't line up with currently accepted stuff, you're not going to get the funding. That whole thought process translates everywhere. Yeah, as far as religions, the danger, I guess, in quotes, it would be like, so which religion was right? I don't know. That's where it's like, they're all right, you know?
They're all right and wrong.
Exactly. They're all, that's why for me, it's always been more of like morals and stories and just what kind of vibe am I getting from it? How does it interact with my heart kind of thing? I don't take it as these exact events happened. It's more morals that I get from them. And they all seem to relate in the same sense as like demons exist in the religions, jinn exist in the religions, and then you have like angels exist in the religions. It's funny that it got brought up because I was talking about that quite a bit last night in one of the Twitter Spaces. We went into that whole thing, and for me, it circles back to the original question. I don't think that governments can disclose something in the format of it being a religion, but they can disclose it in the format of it being like energetically spiritual. So like, but then that itself, like you're just saying, science is already becoming its own dogmatic religion. That already creates another religion now if you don't follow this scientific theory of the densities, you know. That's where everybody has to look inward, and truth is only what's true to you. You know, like I have my truth, you've got yours, someone else has theirs, and it comes to like understanding. We need to be understanding of each other, and accepting and talk. You know,